When it comes to purchasing a new laptop, what features are important to you? Is it the design, the build quality, the processor and battery life, or is it the screen? If you're like us, you'll probably say the latter is a deal breaker. After all, it's the one feature we literally and figuratively look at every single time we use a laptop. In our case, it's mainly for creating and editing content for review. In our downtime, it's for watching movies and shows or playing video games or streaming them from our console to the laptop display. And when it comes to having a gorgeous and functional screen, the new Huawei MateBook 14s, dubbed the Laptop Plus for its upgraded specs and advanced connectivity, has impressed us with its exciting hardware features, including a 2.5K FullView display with support for touch input and gestures, and a fast 90Hz refresh rate for smooth navigation and touch response. So, what's our day with Huawei's Laptop Plus like? We usually start a typical workday by reading and responding to emails and messages and browsing the web for breaking news. Thankfully, when reading or writing text, the screen's extra tall 3:2 aspect ratio gives us a more vertical space to work with compared to traditional 16:9 laptop displays, making the task easier and less time-consuming, as our experience with the Huawei MateView has shown. We found that the added vertical space is useful when editing videos, especially those with multiple audio and video tracks and subtitles. It's one of those features that you never really think about until it benefits you or helps you get more work done in less time. Speaking of things that can make working easier, this MateBook's touchscreen and support for multi-touch gestures make navigating windows and apps more intuitive and incredibly straightforward. You can, for example, swipe from the right to bring up the Windows 10 Action Center if you want to see recent notifications or toggle settings on and off. Swiping from the left will display Task View, which is super handy if you have several apps opened simultaneously. You can also quickly snap two apps side by side by grabbing one window from the top and moving it to one side of the screen, just as you would with a mouse. And as anyone with a smartphone can tell you, it's also easier to zoom in and out and copy and paste text with a touch screen than with a non-touch display. Additionally, the MateBook's bright and color-accurate panel with 10-bit color depth is suitable for creating and editing content. Huawei rates its coverage at 100% of sRGB, which is excellent for Photoshop work. Outside of Photoshop and other PC apps, you can also run Huawei App Gallery apps on the MateBook 14s, thanks to its proprietary mobile app engine. At lunchtime, that's when Zoom meetings usually start. It was a conscious decision to have a separate room just for that, so even if we're just mostly inside the house these days, we still get to have a change of scenery once in a while. And you know what? It's great that the MateBook 14s is intelligent enough for situations like this one. Its smart brightness feature automatically adjusts the display's brightness and makes viewing content more comfortable outdoors or indoors where lighting can sometimes be tricky. It lets us move from one area in the house to the next without worrying about the display settings. When doing shoots for a project, we also use our downtime in the afternoon to transfer files between devices. Thankfully, the Huawei MateBook 14s is equipped with Huawei Share and multi-screen collaboration to make file sharing and screen sharing easy when we need to edit photos or videos on a bigger display. All you need to do is tap a compatible device on the laptop's trackpad to pair and share. That's it. It doesn't get any easier than that. Finally, when it's time to cap off the day, we prefer to spend the evening catching up on our favorite shows or playing games. This is where the MateBook 14s 2.5K panel with a 90Hz refresh rate shines even more, as most games look better on a high-res display while some can benefit from the screen's faster response. For the non-techies, most laptop and smartphone panels have a 60Hz refresh rate, meaning the image on the display is updated or refreshed 60 times per second. A 90Hz panel will do the same, except it refreshes 90 times per second. A higher refresh rate makes the screen better for viewing and getting work done, as it reduces motion blur in animations, text, graphics, and even your mouse cursor. If you work in front of a computer all day like us, upgrading to a 90Hz laptop screen is not only easier on the eyes, it may also ease your eye strain. A sharper panel, on the other hand, makes text and images, including icons, appear crisp and easy to read, especially for those who have vision issues. Additionally, viewing photos and videos is a different experience altogether when more pixels are squeezed into a display. And that's a big deal about the MateBook 14s display. Add to that this Huawei laptop's high screen-to-body ratio, and content on the screen looks more immersive, especially for flight simulation and racing games when you're in the cockpit. Another feature we like is called Dual Eye Comfort, which could help minimize eye fatigue from blue light and screen flickering, and has been especially helpful during days when we needed to work late at night to meet deadlines. Overall, we've had a blast testing the Huawei MateBook 14s, in large part thanks to its high-res 2.5K FullView display with a 90Hz refresh rate and multi-touch support. Its high-resolution, high-refresh screen is definitely something to get excited about, with laptops like the MateBook 14s finally catching up to smartphones in terms of display technology. It makes movement and animations look more fluid and visually pleasing, while making it easier to navigate windows and apps. It's also worth mentioning the new MateBook's other standout features, including its 11th Gen Intel Core i5 or Core i7 CPU, long-lasting 60Wh battery with 65W fast charging, and redesigned keyboard for longer travel and improved tactile feedback and comfort. If you're in the market for a new premium laptop with pro laptop power and, most notably, a fantastic touchscreen, the Huawei MateBook 14s may be the right one for you. In the Philippines, Huawei's Laptop Plus starts at 68,999 for the option with an 11th Gen Core i5 CPU and 512 gigs of SSD storage. For a limited time, customers will receive gifts worth 11,498, including the Huawei FreeBuds Pro and a subscription to Microsoft 365 with every purchase of the laptop.